My fiancé announced, "I want an open relationship starting now. Take it or leave it." I said, "I'll take it." Then I downloaded dating apps and had 2 dates lined up by the weekend. When she saw me getting ready for date 1 on Friday night. Original post: I, 29 male, am documenting this while it's fresh because I still can't believe this is my life right now. My fiancé, 27, and I have been together 4 years, engaged for 6 months, wedding planned for spring, living in my house that I bought 2 years before we even met. Everything seemed solid. Or I was blind, probably the second one. Few nights ago, we're on the couch after dinner. She's been glued to her phone for weeks, but I figured it was wedding planning with her bridesmaids. Then she puts the phone down, takes a breath, and hits me with, "I've been doing a lot of soul-searching and research about relationship structures. I think we need to open our relationship, starting immediately." I looked up from my laptop. What? Monogamy is honestly kind of archaic. I think we'd both grow as people if we explored connections with others. Ethical non-monogamy. It's very common now. This came out of absolutely nowhere. We'd never once discussed anything like this. "You want to see other people?" I want us to have the freedom to see other people. Less pressure. More personal growth. We can still be primary partners. And you've been thinking about this how long? A few months. Look, I'm not asking your permission here. This is what I need to be fulfilled. You can either get on board with this or we can end things right now. Your choice. The way she said it, cold, decided, like she'd rehearsed this. Okay, she blinked, threw off her rhythm. Okay, what? Okay, I'm on board. Open relationship, starting immediately like you said. Her expression went through this rapid shift. Confusion, then surprise, then this forced smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're being mature about this instead of making it a big thing." "Yeah, super mature. That's me." She looked like she wanted to say more, but couldn't figure out what. Started talking about communication and boundaries and respecting each other's experiences. Sounded like she'd been reading forum posts. I nodded along. "So we're both free to see whoever we want, right?" "Well, technically yes, but we should establish some ground rules first." "Nah. You said open. I trust you. We're adults. We'll figure it out as we go." She looked uncomfortable but couldn't really push back since she'd literally just demanded this. That night after she went to sleep, I downloaded Bumble, Hinge, and one other app, made solid profiles, recent photos where I actually looked good, honest bio that mentioned being in an open relationship. Done. By the next morning I had 18 matches. By the next evening I had actual conversations going with several women. By the following day, 2 dates set up for the weekend. I wasn't hiding any of it. She asked what I was doing on my phone so much. Setting up dates, like we agreed. The look on her face, shock, anger, something that looked almost like betrayal. But she couldn't say anything because this was her idea. Next evening, she tried a different tactic. So I've been thinking, maybe we should establish some clearer boundaries after all. Like we should tell each other where we're going, who we're meeting, maybe have veto power. Why would we need that? You said open. Those sound like restrictions. It's not restrictions, it's communication. I am communicating. I have a date tomorrow night. Another one the day after. Both seem like cool people. Her face went red. You already have 2 dates? Yeah, actually 3, but one's the following week. Why? I just didn't expect you to jump into this so fast. You said starting immediately. I took that seriously. Problem? She looked like she wanted to scream but swallowed it. No problem. That's great. Friday came. I showered, cologne, nice button-down, dark jeans, the works. She watched me get ready like I was preparing for my own funeral. Where are you going? Told you. First date, dinner, maybe drinks after if it goes well. With who? Woman I matched with. Graphic designer. Really into horror movies and travel. Seems great. A woman? Yeah, got a few matches actually. Surprising how many people are into ethical non-monogamy these days. My fiancé's hands were literally shaking. You need to cancel. Why? Because this isn't, you can't just what? Do exactly what you demanded we do. This isn't how it's supposed to work. Then how's it supposed to work? Explain it to me. I didn't think you'd actually go out with other people. And there it was. So when you said open relationship, you meant you get to see other people, and what? Sit at home? Wait for you? Tears started. You're being deliberately hurtful. I'm being hurtful? You demanded this, gave me an ultimatum. I said okay. Now you're mad that I meant it? I thought we'd talk about it more first. I thought you'd fight for us. You said take it or leave it. Those were your words. I took it. What did you expect? She just stood there crying. I grabbed my tees. This isn't fair. You're absolutely right. It's not. But you started this, so here we are. I left, heard her yelling something as I closed the door. The date was honestly great. We clicked immediately. Conversation flowed. She was cool about my situation, said she'd been in open relationships before and understood the dynamic. We made tentative plans to see each other again. Got home late. My fiancé was waiting up, eyes swollen, mascara streaked. We need to talk, right now. Okay. I want to close the relationship. This was a mistake. We're done with the open thing. That was quick, less than a week. I realized it's not for us. So we're closing it back to normal. We? Or you? What does that mean? It means you wanted this, you demanded it, you threatened to end the engagement if I didn't agree. Now you want to take it back because I actually did what you said we could do? You know what I meant. You know what I was trying to say. I know exactly what you meant. You wanted permission to see someone else. You thought I'd either refuse so you could leave, or I'd agree and just sit here waiting while you explored. What you didn't expect was for me to have options too. She started crying harder. I can't do this. I can't watch you with other people. Then you shouldn't have demanded an open relationship. I made a mistake. Yeah, you did. But that doesn't mean I have to pretend it didn't happen. I went to bed, woke up the next morning to find she'd moved to the guest room. That's where things are now. My second date is tonight, and I'm going. She can deal with the consequences of her own demands. Update 1. The entitlement has reached levels I didn't think were possible. Woke up the morning after my second date to voices in my living room. Went downstairs to find my fiancé had assembled a whole intervention crew. Her best friend, her sister, and her mom. In my house. Her mom started before I even got coffee. We need to discuss what you're doing to this family. Good morning to you too. Who let you all in? My fiancé, I still have a key. We need to talk. Her sister, you're destroying her. She's barely eating, can't sleep. You're being cruel. I'm being cruel? I agreed to what she wanted. Her best friend jumped in. Oh please, you know what she meant. She wanted to explore options, not watch you flaunt dates in her face. So she wanted an open relationship? For just her? Her mom. That's not what she's saying. That's exactly what she's saying. She wanted me to stay faithful while she saw someone else. When I took the same freedom, suddenly I'm the bad guy. My fiancé spoke up from the couch, red-eyed and dramatic. I think you should stay with a friend for a while. Give me space to process. I actually laughed. Stay with a friend? This is my house that I bought before I even met you. You're making this impossible. I'm making it impossible? Let me recap. You demanded an open relationship. I agreed. You expected me to not actually use that freedom. When I did, you tried to close it. When I wouldn't, you moved to the guest room. Now you want me to leave my house. Do I have that right? Her best friend, you're being a jerk about this. Everybody out. This is between us. You all need to leave. Her mom, we're not going anywhere. Yes, you are. This is my property. You're here without my permission. Leave or I call the cops for trespassing. That got them moving. But not before her sister said I'd regret destroying this family. Once they left, my fiancé and I sat down. Who is he? I asked. What are you talking about? The guy. The reason you wanted this. There's someone specific. Who is he? She went pale. Don't lie. People don't wake up and demand open relationships out of nowhere. You had someone in mind. Who? Long silence. Then quietly, someone from work. Name. Why does it matter? Because I want to know who I'm apparently competing with. She told me. Younger guy, new hire. They'd been getting coffee, having deep conversations, feeling a connection. Did you sleep with him? No, that's the whole point. I wanted the open relationship so it wouldn't be cheating. So you wanted a hall pass to test drive someone else while keeping me as backup. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. You wanted me locked down while you explored. Except you didn't think I'd have options. What was the plan? I sit home while you figure out if he's better than me? I didn't think you'd find someone so fast. There it was. The real issue. You mean you didn't think anyone would want me? Or you thought I'd be too devoted to actually look? She didn't answer, just cried. Here's what's happening. I'm keeping my plans. I have another date lined up. You can stay in the guest room or leave. Your call. If you go on that date, I'm done. The engagement is over. I looked at her, really studied her face. This was a test. She wanted me to cancel, choose her, prove she was more important than my self-respect. Okay, we're done then. Her face crumbled. You don't mean that. I completely mean it. You wanted an open relationship so you could see someone else without guilt. When I took you seriously, you tried to change the rules. Now you're giving ultimatums. Yeah, we're done. The ring. I want to keep the ring. Excuse me? Your grandmother's ring. It's mine. I'm keeping it. That ring is a family heirloom. It was never yours. It was lent to you as my fiancée. Since we're not engaged, I want it back. Now. You can't just take it back. It's not yours. It never was. Ring. Now. She looked at her hand, then at me, realized I was serious, started crying harder but pulled it off, threw it at me. Take it. Take everything. You never loved me anyway. I caught the ring. I loved you enough to respect what you said you wanted, but I won't be your safety net while you shop around. I went on my third date that night. Different woman, completely different vibe. We got coffee, walked around downtown, talked for hours. She's a teacher, wicked sense of humor, and didn't flinch when I explained my situation. We're getting dinner later this week. Got home late to find most of my ex-fiancée's stuff was gone. She'd taken her clothes and essentials, left everything else. Got a text, staying at my parents', coming for the rest tomorrow, don't be there. I replied, it's my house, I'll be wherever I want, text when you're coming and I'll have everything boxed up in the garage. Spent the next morning packing her remaining stuff. Wedding binders, decorations she'd bought, all her skincare products from the bathroom. Boxed it all up. She arrived early afternoon with her dad and brother. Her dad looked uncomfortable, like he knew this was awkward. Her brother looked ready for confrontation. Her brother immediately. You really did this, huh? Threw away 4 years over nothing. Nothing? She demanded an open relationship so she could see someone else. That's not nothing. Her dad. She what? My ex-fiancé. Dad? He's twisting. She didn't tell you? She wanted an open relationship, had a guy picked out and everything. I said okay. She got mad when I actually dated other people, that's what happened. Her dad looked at her. Is that true? It's more complicated. Yes or no, did you ask for an open relationship? Yes, but... Her dad held up a hand. I don't need to hear the rest. Let's get your things and go. They loaded boxes mostly in silence. Her brother kept glaring but didn't say anything after his dad shut it down. As they were loading the last box, she turned back. You're going to regret this when you realize what you gave up. I gave up someone who wanted to cheat with permission and thought I'd just accept it. I think I'll survive. Her dad actually gave me a small nod as they drove away, but I should have known that wouldn't be the end. Update 2. The escalation has been absolutely insane, and I've discovered some things that made this whole situation even more messed up than I thought. Few days after the pickup, her mom called. Started sympathetic, ended accusatory. I can't believe you're doing this to her. She's devastated. I'm doing this to her? She's the one who demanded an open relationship. That's not the story I heard. She said you wanted to see other people and she reluctantly agreed to save the relationship. Of course she did. That's a complete lie. She gave me an ultimatum. Open relationship or breakup. Those were my options. She would never do that. My daughter is loyal and loving. You're the one running around with other women while engaged. We were in an open relationship that she demanded. Ask her dad, he knows the truth. He said it was complicated, but you've broken her heart. You need to apologize and fix this. Fix what? She wanted to see someone else. I called her bluff. She didn't like it. That's not my problem. She made a mistake. You're supposed to forgive mistakes. That's what love is. Her mistake was assuming I'd sit around while she tested other options. I'm not doing that. You've ruined her life over your ego. She ruined her own life. Maybe teach her that actions have consequences. She hung up, but the calls kept coming. Her best friend texted long paragraphs about how I manipulated the situation and knew what she really meant, and I was purposely hurting her. Her sister called me immature, said I was playing games instead of being a man. Some mutual friends reached out, clearly getting her version. According to her story, I suddenly demanded an open relationship out of nowhere. She reluctantly agreed. Then I rubbed dates in her face to punish her. Complete fiction. I sent a message to the friend group. Since stories are circulating, here's what actually happened. She demanded an open relationship via ultimatum. I agreed. She expected me to stay faithful while she pursued someone else. When I actually dated, she tried to close it. I ended the engagement. That's the truth. Believe what you want. Lost a few friends who were closer to her. Kept the ones who knew me well enough to ask questions. But then things got interesting. I got a Facebook message from someone I didn't know. Guy's profile showed he worked at her company. Hey man, I'm the coworker. We should probably talk. I accepted. About? About what happened. She's telling everyone at work you're abusive and controlling, freaking out constantly. I feel like I'm missing part of the story. What did she tell you? That you guys broke up because you couldn't handle her having male friends. That you got jealous and possessive. Interesting. Here's the real version. She told me she wanted an open relationship so she could pursue you without it being cheating. I agreed. She didn't expect me to actually date. When I did, she lost it. That's what happened. Long pause in the chat. Then, she wanted to pursue me? That's what she told me. Said she had feelings for you. Wanted the freedom to explore that. I had no idea. She's been really friendly, but I thought we were just coworkers. I have a girlfriend. She know about your girlfriend? I've mentioned her. Why? Just curious if she told you she was engaged. She said she was single. We've gotten coffee a few times. She asked me out to dinner last week, but I said I was busy. Oh, this was good. So she told you she was single while we were still engaged. Apparently, this is messed up, man. Yeah, it is. Do with this information what you want. We chatted a bit more. He seemed genuinely shocked. Said he was going to create some distance from her at work. I didn't think much more about it until a few days later when I got an angry text from my ex-fiancé. What did you say to him? He won't even talk to me now. You ruined everything. I told him the truth, that you wanted an open relationship to pursue him. If the truth ruins things, that's on you. You had no right. That was private. You're obsessed with destroying me. He messaged me first asking what happened. I was honest. Not my fault, you've been lying to everyone. She called immediately. I sent it to voicemail. She left a screaming message about how I sabotaged her and I was jealous that she was moving on. Blocked her number. Then I got a package in the mail. From her mom. Inside was a letter and some photos. The letter was 4 pages of handwritten guilt tripping. About commitment, family values, forgiveness, second chances. How I owed it to her daughter to try harder and be a man. The photos were of us from over the years. Vacations, holidays, happy moments. With a note, remember what you're throwing away. The manipulation was stunning. But the letter also mentioned the ring. Apparently my ex told her mom I stole my grandmother's ring and she deserved to keep it because she'd already picked out a wedding dress to match it. The audacity. I didn't respond. Just filed everything away. That weekend, doorbell rings. It's her dad, alone. Can I come in? I let him in, offered coffee. I owe you an apology. I've been talking to my daughter all week, getting different versions every time. Finally cornered her and made her tell me everything. And? She admitted she wanted the open relationship because she was interested in the coworker. She thought you'd refuse and she'd have ammunition to leave. When you agreed, she panicked. When you actually dated, she spiraled. So she was planning to leave anyway. I think she wanted you to be the bad guy. Make it your fault. Instead, you called her bluff. Why tell me this? Because my wife and daughter are painting you as a monster. You're not. You took her at her word. That's on her. Appreciate you saying that. The ring is yours, family heirloom. She has no claim. And if they keep harassing you, let me know. I'll handle it. We talked a bit more. He seemed genuinely embarrassed by his family's behavior. After he left, I went out with the teacher I'd been seeing. We went to this tiny Italian place, talked for hours, laughed until we couldn't breathe. She's smart, funny, doesn't play games. We made plans to see each other again soon. Got home feeling good for the first time in weeks. Then saw my ex-fiancée's car in my driveway. She was on the porch, waiting. We need to talk. No, we don't. Leave, please. 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, fine. 5. She stood up, looked rough, dark circles, weight loss, messy hair. I messed up, I know that. I was stupid and selfish, I'm sorry, I want to fix this. Please. There's nothing to fix. We can do counseling, I'll do anything, I love you. This isn't about love anymore, it's about respect. You tried to manipulate me, expected me to wait around while you explored other options. Got mad when I had self-respect, that's who you are. I'm not that person, I made one mistake. You made calculated choices, you wanted an escape plan with me as backup. You lied to your coworker about being engaged. You rewrote history to everyone. That's not a mistake, that's character. So 4 years means nothing? 4 years meant everything until you threw it away for someone who didn't even know you were taken. Yeah, I talked to him. He told me you claimed you were single. Her face drained of color. You lied to him. You lied to me. You lied to your family. I'm done being manipulated. Leave my property. Don't come back. You're seeing someone, aren't you? That's why you're doing this. What I do is none of your business anymore. You moved on so fast, because I'm not waiting around hoping you'll choose me. You made your choice, multiple times, I made mine. We're done. More crying. I didn't comfort her, just waited until she left. Next day, her mom called again. Voicemail accused me of taking advantage of her daughter's moment of weakness and manipulating her into wanting an open relationship. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. I saved everything, but didn't respond to anything. Her dad had the truth. That was enough. Then something unexpected happened that changed everything. Final update. It's been about 2 months since everything exploded. Final update because I'm done with this chapter. Week after that last confrontation, things went nuclear in a way I didn't see coming. Her best friend showed up at my house unannounced, without my ex-fiancé. I need to tell you something, and she'd kill me if she knew I was here. Okay, she's been planning this for months. The open relationship thing wasn't spontaneous. She handed me her phone, screenshots, lots of them, group chat between my ex, her best friend, and her sister. Going back 4 months. Messages about how she was bored in the relationship, how she needed excitement, how the coworker was exactly her type. Discussions about how to set up an exit strategy without looking like the bad guy. The real kicker? A message from 3 months ago. I'm just gonna tell him I want an open relationship. He'll either freak out and I can leave, or he'll agree and just sit there like always while I have fun. Either way, I win. My ex's sister had responded, genius. He'll never actually date anyone else. Too loyal. I stared at the screenshots. My hands were shaking. Why are you showing me this? Her best friend looked uncomfortable. Because she's been lying to everyone, including me. She told us you were on board with this, that you both wanted it. Then when you actually dated people, she lost her mind. Started saying you manipulated her into it. And you believed her? At first, but then she started asking me to lie for her. To back up stories that didn't make sense, and I found these messages going back months. This wasn't a mistake or a moment of weakness. This was premeditated. Can you send these to me? She did. Every screenshot, the whole conversation thread. There's more. She's been telling people at work that you were abusive, that you controlled her finances and isolated her from friends. She's trying to get sympathy from the coworker. I never controlled anything. I know. I was there. You paid for almost everything because you insisted. You encouraged her to go out with friends. But she's rewriting history. Why are you telling me this now? Because I'm done being part of her victim narrative. What she did to you was calculated and cruel. You deserve to know the truth. After she left, I sat with those screenshots for hours. The planning, the manipulation, the assumption that I'd just accept being a backup plan. Decided to document everything. Saved all the messages, printed them. Put together a timeline of her demands, her lies, and her admissions. Sent a final message to the mutual friend group with the screenshots attached. Since there's been a lot of misinformation, here's the actual timeline. She planned the open relationship demand for months, expected me to refuse or comply while she pursued someone else. When I took her seriously and dated, she tried to rewrite everything. These are her own words from months ago. Make of it what you will. The response was immediate. Friends who'd sided with her started apologizing. Others just went silent. A few unfollowed both of us. Her best friend texted, "Holy shit, she's losing it. Says you hacked her phone and faked those messages. Those came from your phone." I know, I told her that. She called me a traitor and said I was dead to her. That afternoon, her dad called. I saw the messages, my wife showed them to me. She got them from my daughter's sister, who's apparently damage controlling. And? I'm sorry. I knew she was being manipulative, but I didn't realize it was this calculated. You deserve better than what my family put you through. Thanks for saying that. She got fired today. What? From her job. The coworker reported her to HR for harassment. She'd been following him around, leaving notes on his desk, crying in the break room. Company decided she was creating a hostile work environment. Let her go. That's wow. She's back living with us. No job, no relationship, no friends will talk to her. My wife's still defending her, but even she's starting to see the pattern. I don't feel bad for her. You shouldn't. She made her choices, every single one. This is the consequence. We talked a bit more. He mentioned she'd tried to file a police report claiming I'd kept her belongings, but they told her it was a civil matter and she'd already picked everything up. After that call, I met up with the teacher. We'd been seeing each other regularly. Things were going really well. I told her about the screenshots, the whole timeline. That's insane. She really thought she could have it both ways. Apparently. You doing okay? Honestly? Yeah, better than okay. I dodged something huge. You really did. We spent the evening just being together. No drama, no games. Just two people who actually respect each other. The mutual friends who mattered reached out to apologize for believing her story. The ones who didn't reach out weren't really friends anyway. Lost the wedding venue deposit. Lost some friendships. Lost 4 years of my life to someone who saw me as a safety net. But I kept my self-respect, kept my house, kept my grandmother's ring for someone who'll actually deserve it someday. The revenge wasn't complicated. I just took her at her word, agreed to what she demanded, refused to be manipulated when she tried to change the rules. Every consequence that followed was her own doing. She wanted freedom. She got it. She wanted to explore. She did. She just didn't want me to have the same freedom. When reality didn't match her fantasy, she fell apart. Her calculated plan to have her cake and eat it too crashed into the simple fact that I had enough self-respect to walk away. Last I heard through mutual friends, she's still at her parents' place, unemployed, telling anyone who'll listen that I ruined her life. No mention of how she spent months planning to manipulate me. No acknowledgement that she's the one who demanded the open relationship. Just pure victim mentality. Meanwhile, I'm genuinely happy. New relationship that's built on honesty, friends who actually have my back. Peace in my own home. The best part? I didn't have to plot or scheme or sabotage anything. I just respected her wishes, lived my life, and let her experience the natural results of her choices. She wanted an open relationship. I gave her one. She wanted to explore. She did. She wanted to test if the grass was greener. She found out it wasn't. And I found out exactly who she was. Someone willing to manipulate, lie, and rewrite history to avoid accountability. Someone who thought I'd always be there as plan B. The engagement ring is back in the safe. The house is mine. The life is mine. And I'm building something real with someone who treats partnership like partnership, not like a strategy game. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, when someone gives you an ultimatum, sometimes the right answer is the one they don't expect. When someone demands something, thinking you'll never agree, call their bluff. When someone tries to manipulate you, choose yourself. You might lose the relationship, but you'll keep your dignity, and that's worth infinitely more. Thanks for following along. This chapter is closed.